Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beings of all types, all places, all over the universe. This is universal creator being, light being of light, being of love, being of excellent, ever-pervading evanescence. Going straight to the point of the grand sort of evanescent creating episode on this co-creationalistical broadcast. Fire for Liberty, this is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, and the very amazing thing about the truth, going, I guess, from tip to bottom, or top to bottom, or bottom to top, or, whatever form of what we consider our spatial understanding of what Gaia is, this globe is, and this Nova Earth is the miraculous, not only existing creations such as just the amazing, massive lands of just the truth about plant life, and then of course so many different types of plant life. There's still, and even the more plant life that's being rejuvenated. What's amazing is the connection with nature and heaven, and this is really, high vibrational frequencies that we're feeling, and it's amazing because it's noticeable in the plants. It's noticeable, it's kind of the senses, which is, extrasensory understanding of just that extrasensory connection with, within, which is from within becomes everything, creates everything, which creates, the realms that for example, we're living in. That's a very unique sort of thing. And I'll probably do a spectacular sort of thing later, but to, sort of, ramp up the amazing sort of light is the amazing fruition of the types of, for one, not only, the beings that live within the massive, extraordinary, beautiful, untouched, natural parts of nature that exists in Agartha. That's very electrovibrant. I say the word electrovibrant because that is one of the terminologies actually for the golden planets. There's 3 of them. There's way more than 3 actually. I already said that, but like Theoban, as well as the incredible planet of Coldus. It's gorgeous, and absolutely, I do have memories of Maldek. I thought that was amazing. Dreams. Well, let's put it this way. I do remember seeing very, very vast ocean, and definitely the horizon line. And I will definitely do the math on this. The horizon line visibility was well more than 70 nautical miles. Wow, no, it was more than, I'd say, 100 nautical miles. Probably around 150 to 200 nautical miles. It's vast. It's vast, and it's a vast ocean. It's so huge. It seemed that the mountains were clouds themselves. And it seemed that the clouds were mountainous. There's much more vivid landscape, but that's sort of the type of vision that comes with an ascended planet, for example. That's what's so amazing about this enlightened DNA, is that returning, of course, to, and we're once again returning to our understanding of what it really means to. So I broke some key things down throughout this week about really the nature. Well, of course, a lot of the designs. Yeah, the designs are inert. I mean, not inert, but as in inherent in design itself, in the blueprint of creativity, in the blueprint of the golden ratio, and of the phrase, the pine cones kissing noses, the electronic energy of creation of DNA, of that energy source that we are, that we emanate, and the understanding of the physics behind that. I talked a lot about that and just how there's a unique co-creative, multi-creationalistical heaviness and understanding of what it means to be creating that sort of heart-centered, heart-space feeling of not only what is eternally, of course, not only within that amazing capability, but of course, that eternal, evanescent light being that we are as amazing forms of creation. And we can always ascend and continue to live as one. And here's the magical thing, amazing thing we're doing in the physical. It's absolutely spectacular we're doing it in the physical. And we continue to develop, we continue to grow, and we continue to enhance our own DNA. Because that's what DNA does. It's huge, it's massive, it's collective. And of course, I very, very, very strongly encourage the wisdom, insight, and the truth about the innate. And just about crying. And I know it so well. I'm very in tune with myself and with my inner capabilities and with consciousness itself, and how we can truly be limitless all the time. And it's amazing how quickly, and as quickly as it should be, accelerating this of course age of golden age. What does that entail? A lot of the amazing fruitions have a lot to do, well, I say a lot to do, but it ultimately has a lot to do with the work that we do. Indeed, a lot of this is inner work, because there isn't a lot of inner work that needs to be done, because the amazing ability about being one, healthy, clear, well, let's put it this way. We are all creative, multi-prevailing creators. We are all evanescent, magnificent creative beings. And we're capable of doing, well, limitless things. We're capable of limitlessness, and of course, one of the aspects of that is, the transportation to the golden planet, the amazing, just incredibly ancient but beautiful and livelihood of the forest in Agartha, the splendor of Shambhala, the gorgeous magnificence of Telos, and the amazing ascended consciousness that we have here on the surface planet. And I'm saying that, the ideas that I have are indestructible. I know they are. The ideas that started with the amazing evanescent journey that, is what's within all of us, is the fact that, one, there's so much more to go. Two, this is such an amazing epic chapter, and there's such more potential behind this sort of projection of, like, this idea of this pulled back of a slingshot and then, setting it free into this realm of, and we can jump, once again, thousands of years. What I mean by that, well, our interpretation of thousands of years. And, I say type 4,379 civilization. We're moving on to a type 4,497 civilization, which is, I want to say, 10 to the 696 power. So, tremendous amount of energy. And that's just kind of like an understanding of the amazing co-creational abilities that we have. The amazing brilliance of light and love that we have within. The amazing source of creation that we were always meant to be. It can always be, and our ability for, divine creation, divinity, and for love and light all over the universe. There are many different beings who we know about and have interacted with, especially the many different types of experiences experienced just, on this planet alone. There's so many, the Galactic Federation of Planets, the Galactic Federation of Conscious Planets, is a beautiful, wonderful example. The Ambassador Mica, Ambassador M-I-C-K. Excuse me, Ambassador M-I-C-A. And his, the truth of his story, the amazing journeys, the amazing experiences, expeditions that occur, that we go on, they all lead up to a very important point, and there's so much more to go. What's so incredible about this is that it's not just important honor and responsibility, but it's now something ingrained in it, which is a great, amazing thing. Because one, where of course you can visit, which is the truth. Of course, it's the truth, and it's not like, no, you can't go to the library, but like everybody's invited to the Library of the Holy Ghost. Everybody can go in there. It's in our DNA. And it's a returning of who we are. It's not like just like a returning of who we are. It's in a continued expansion journey of knowing, learning more, and reading about it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as reading. For example, reading about what occurs in the in Sector 3 of our galaxy, what occurs in Sector 12, what occurs in Sector 2, what occurs in Sector 1 of our galaxy, what occurs in Sector 4 of our galaxy. What supernovas occurred recently, how many new stars were born, how many giant blue stars are there, how many super blues are there, how many red dwarfs are there. And so we see ourselves, everything is the same. So, for example, vision, like a unique part of insight, because of course it is inherent in our dodecahedral super pervasive cosmic lattice extension capability energy, unity, electromagnetic field potential capacity, not only within the mind, but of course within the heart. Advancement acceleration to the creative ability expansion that is not only in the universe manifestation abilities within the 2,000 or 3,000 type civilizations, but of course the incredibly expansive and incredibly detailed, very energy filled, dodecahedral, even crescent shaped, spiraled energy concentration of the multi-movable, expandable, implantable, injectable, uplifted, respiraled, recoiled, navigated time shift of what is conceived as time in that procession of ancient realm ascendability, which is just some of the most basic aspects of 3,100 civilizations. And then that experience continues to elevate the energy potential with each 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3,000. So once again, which is amazing about days, and here's where I want to go into, which is very important. And this is, once again, kind of already known. And once again, this is also why we are continuously, or I say we, but, why Nova Gaia the star is incredibly advanced and is that, well beyond the fifth, and why we're already united. Why there's, peace all over the world, and why there's continuous advancement on an incredible rate of our development as a galactic society. and how we're, well, the amount of jam-packed creation that occurs in, for example, a 24-hour period is so huge, magnificent, and massive that the leap in consciousness that occur never happened before. Let me say that again in a different way. The amount of progress that we made in 80 years is nothing compared to 50. Well, that's something that can be known, but 80 years, $50,000 years of evolution has occurred on this planet. That now glimpse how much happens now in a day. Okay, well, let's glimpse about how much happens now in a week. Okay, how much time, as what we understand as time, goes by in a day now. Just have some food for thought for that. Bounds. There is so much energy and there is so much acceleration and there's so much joy. Why? Why is this so spectacular? And what does it mean to seed or to understand, for example, just understand the lineage of how, for example, Palladians seeded this earth many eons ago. How is it so that it was said to be slow, but it's continuing on, and I'm kind of, whoa, oh my goodness, I'm kind of quoting something that I already know, but I'm just speaking from my mind here, and I just know it. And maybe I'm channeling. I'm probably getting good at channeling, which would be really cool. I really hope I'm doing that. So anyway, I'm going on in my world, which I'm creating and manifesting as a creator, challenging. I speak multiple languages, so now that's coming through. And that's why I'm also creating another language while I'm speaking this language. Super, very awesome. Challenging, character, of course, there's a lot of character developed in this huge challenge. Also, one, that's also true. Character, the word I was looking for is channeling. So, seeding in play is happening now. The awareness of what we knew that was going to happen here, and then we witnessed this explosion. This is an explosion of growth, an explosion of abundance, and this explosion of light and understanding and wisdom and time capsules. Or it's most likely, which is true, time capsules opening. What is a time capsule? Maybe time capsules are the understanding of 50,000 years of things that occur, 50,000 years of time leaps, and maybe, I say maybe, but yes, it is happening each time. And what I mean by each of those times, I mean moons. There's a lot of moons around these planets. There's a moon around this planet. Each crescent, each thing. Okay, wane, quarter, full, new. Wane, quarter, full moon, new. Quickly. See how that fast happens. Transition into the understanding of the grips. 50,000 years. For some reason, the word grip came into mind. So time capsule opened, which is the time capsule that just recently opened, which I would say is a time capsule that recently opened. To understand the very importance of what does this mean for, well, this is a hypothetical question, rhetorical meaning. I mean, rhetorical, not hypothetical, but what does this mean for planets in general. See, these planets are growing. And so we are. This is so huge. Okay. So keep in mind. Okay. Yes, we were seeded. So multiple things. Okay, multiple planets, multiple moons. Okay. Now. This is something. No, what I mean to say is, I'm saying multiple things at the same time. So here we go. I'm saying one. Most of these things that we're now able to do in physical awareness, consciousness, we had to only be able to do in sleep and lucid dreaming. Now we're able to plan, accord, channel, and that's kind of like and to do this in now time, real time, acceleration of potential. There's also communication. There's also peace. There's also ascended consciousness, and of course there's connection with all oneness of all that is. Now, this growth is occurring on multiple planets, and what's amazing is that as these planets grow, our planet grows, and our planet continues to be, it continues to ascend, and of course we continue to help, support, and heal Gaia all the time. As that is one of our unique, co-creative, expansive responsibilities. That is one of my responsibilities, you can say. So. Huge bounds in the progress, huge understanding of our unique oneness, and amazing balance, of course, with what is actually actually I've already explained it before in many different other broadcasts, but the understanding of the bliss of love, of the creational manifestation of our latent abilities. Yes, it's amazing, and I've spoken about this already. One, technology CIT, consciousness-assisted technology, technology-assisted consciousness. It's actually, I would even break down, which probably isn't true, but as the only really two forms of things that are out there. I mean, as the only two forms of technology that's out there. Technology-assisted consciousness and consciousness-assisted technology. Just take a look at the amino acid computers, for example, that Tele has. Just take a look at the telepathically connected vehicles that are traveled by most of the galaxy, honestly. Take a look at the motherships that navigate with elegance and grace at very high speeds, despite their large size. Think about all the things that just really opens up science and stuff like that. Just really, there's so much education, there's so much that we know, there's so much that we don't know. And of course the phrase goes that you don't know what you don't know. It's amazing how much I know this now, how aware of this I am, because it's like to know about the connection that we have with plants, with animals, a connection that we have with insects and with trees and with ocean creatures, ocean animals. The ability to create that we've already developed, as well as our continuous ability to create, even just in the physical things, physical structures, to the creational manifestation of things that have already been in existence, and of course even the magnificent things that we do spend our money on, about things that we don't necessarily know about. And that, of course, is a very important, amazing point, which, there's still, for example, which is true, definitely I would even say a large majority is not aware of. And that is very, very interesting and very important how we continue to, achieve and hold up and commit to our responsibility to do our responsibility. I want to. I want to so badly. I'm just gonna do it. At this point, I mean, come on. I so want to so badly. And it's like, but here's the thing, I can answer all questions. I say answer all questions. It's such a weird phrase. Anyway, and it's just amazing how just rapidly I change. Because I build myself from within. Because I've already gone on this journey so far. So huge, longly far. Meaning, I can co-creatively problem solve while creating. And that's what creation is, or that's what plasma is, that's what the sun is. The sun is not a giant ball of gas that burns at high temperatures, no. It's a plasma being that flows with the plasma, cold fusion, that is its functionality, per se. And that's like a simplistic explanation of it, and I gave a longer one before. And that's what makes us so special about this planet and about how unique it is and how totally amazing this is. And just how it is so amazing. The very, 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 very small things. Everything is huge. It's so massive, the expansive power of how far we can truly, one, know how deep the rabbit hole goes, two, really reach into this limitlessness, and we can really reach at light speeds. We're reaching into the cosmic lattice. We're reaching into the stars. We're attracting that star form, and we're bringing that truth of our lightness on Earth. And this is all happening from within. So I absolutely love this episode. I love this broadcast. I love myself so much. I mean, I'm such an amazing guy. And it's like when I get going, I just get going. And that's how I am. That's what I do. That's what I manifest. Everything about it. Every emotion about it. And yes, I do like the creative parts of it. I love it so much. I love the fact that when it comes to, and it's amazing because it's like, well, let me put it this way, two ways. It's amazing because like when I say this explanation and speech, it's like I know what's happening, or as in I know that my responsibility for this is like something probably I should just speak about, like, hey, this world, there's cabal that's trying to keep, well, now I'm talking about the cabal. I really try to be, keep in a high state of consciousness, and guess what, I can do that. So let me just not interrupt myself. I can, well, it's amazing how just realistic I am. Anyway, we got a naughty cabal, okay? This guy tries to go, and once again, that's why I'm so excellent at the same time. But which is amazing because that's why I'm able to do all the amazing things that I am able to do, because I started it on my own. And I am still going where nobody's gone before. I'm still stepping into my own path that is such a narrow road, because it's and I made it. I do my own things. I create my own way, I lead my own way. And I experience life in a whole unique other perspective, and I inspire because I want to be like me, because I exist from within, and I believe that I can go there, and I go there and I reach out and I know it's mine, because I know my worth. I know my worth. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly how to get it. And I know how much I want it. And I'll get it. I will. Because I am. I am wise. I am wise. Because I am love. I am love incarnate. I can say that. I can totally say that. I'm going to say it again. I'll say it more. And, we'll understand the truth, because I am the truth of that existence. Bright blue sunlight is the blue sun that, for example, is on all the time. And, of course, the universe is huge. Let's go there, okay? Let's go there. Now that is consciousness and working. So now here's a amazing, magnificent segue to the creation that we are. Of course, we know we're crystal beings, we're star beings. And that's really exciting, because we're in it like now, because we're aware of that consciousness. That's like where our consciousness is now. It's super awesome. Our planet has an aura, okay? We can interact with this aura. It's the same way our planet has an aura that interacts with the sun's aura, and then the sun is interacting with our aura. And that's, visual. I explained it, but I'm not even going to... Just definitely check out fractal physics, and specifically this physics of our DNA. There's so much. So that's cool. That's good. What I was getting to, we got a lot of... But here's the thing, it's actually, well... The thing is, and this is going to describe a lot of things that are happening, okay? It's going to describe a lot of things that are happening. And it's going to make, well, of course it's going to make sense, but it is making a lot of sense, okay? So, here we go, because yeah, I mean, we are able to create manifesting amazing things. I don't want to say, because, that's kind of, which is kind of, true. That's, actually, you know what? I can explain this sentence, which is a very dangerous sentence, but only I can say it, because that's how dangerous the sentence is. I know about the Cabal, and I know that, the Cabal is powerless, because I will not give my power to the Cabal. Meaning, the Cabal, once again, creates unfear, because they don't want us to discover about who we are, not just in our DNA, but what type of technologies that already exist that they've try to enslave us to do all the time. And I'd have to keep, which is true, which is what we do, which is what we must do. And that is the important part that we play, which is, and not just play, but everything about it. And see, so this is, it's once again, it's our understanding of how we are always in the light. We know that we're in the light, but we have to know it well. It's very, very, very subtle, and it's very simple, but it's very complex. Here's why. How do you go to an artist? How do you tell somebody that we need to go discover those ancient artifacts on Antarctica? How do you say, for example, and here's, once again, I'm saying things that only I can say. Like, I'm powerful enough to face the Cabal, so what does that mean? What is this invisible force or invisible being that, is even, non-existent, that I'm me, just this young adult, is trying to, or is able to stand up and face and say that I stand in truth and light, and I'm not afraid of something that doesn't exist. I'm paving my way, I'm trailblazing. I want to make and support Nova Earth, and create Nova Earth. Heal, develop, raise, ignite Nova Earth. Nova Gaia. We both have a great ring. I don't want any of these W words. I don't want any more of these wars. They're useless. We understand because we see straight through them. We don't need any of this false scarcity. We understand. We know what it is, what it is, and we see straight through it. We don't know. All these falsehoods, with all this nonsense that's going on in previous I don't even know what it is, but this weird religious interpretations and things that have been going on. See, start through it. There's so much more potential, okay? I know it, because I am that I am, and I've always known it. There's so much more to this planet because we can feel. What do I mean by that? To be able to be conscious of exactly how much we're able to go through, whatever we're able to go through, despite all that, what was it, 1996? And I'm really going back. I'm just using this as a quick example, but there's some type of plasma anomaly, which I'm just gonna be straight out honest, and that's gonna be eliminated so soon. It's so soon, and what I mean by that, subtly, carefully, I'm telling you, there's a beautiful science to it, but one is definitely a lot of trust. I'm not gonna lie, it requires a lot of trust, which is okay. I mean, this is very, very precarious, but at the same time, the light is winning. Okay, so anyway, I mean, we're all winning, of course. We're gonna understand what that means. Gosh, I'm doing so much precognition. I don't mean to spoil it, guys. I'm not spoiling it, because I come from within. I'm just saying I really understand precognition, and my precognition skills have gotten so good that it's just. So anyway, okay, I will describe a little bit on our precognition skills. Oh, goodness gracious. I see so well. and it's probably not just precognitions and just clairvoyance, but I can see multiple things and hear multiple things, and of course that's known. So that plays a part in how I do and why I'm also, the director, founder of. It's a private company, so I'm not gonna say it, but it's my own. I started it on myself. Let's just put it that. That's a huge hint. Ta-da! But bear with me. Okay, here we go. Bare necessities. Very, very, very powerful two sets of words. Compound words. Probably I'll just make compound words now. It tastes as sweet as wine too. So let's put it this way. Yes, there were a lot of, and this is something that we understand, which is something, and here's the thing, because we do, and I say we, because I lead in a very spectacular way, very unique way too, and very, something that's unparalleled, because once again, I just skip time, I just skip and bound, I just go 50 years, I do grips, okay, I do 50,000 year leaps in consciousness, because that's just how I walk. Anyway, I mean, I'm telling the truth. I mean, I'm literally aware of time. It's interesting. So I'm going to go into that in a little bit. So which is why, for one, the Tabal. So it's like, I was actually doing a new coined phrase for them, the Tabal, because they're like teddy bears. Tabal or Tybalt. But at the same time, I should be aware, like, these are seriously, like, I mean, this is like, I gotta, well, actually, no, I'm not even gonna give them props. I'm just gonna say, the light is winning, we're smashing you, and it's fun. And we're doing it easily. And I say easily, but, it's not, it hasn't been I mean, I could say, it's been an easy journey, but I'm not, saying that I take what we do lightly. or what I do lightly. I'm not downgrading my potential at all or anything like that. I'm advancing my very own position as an ascended leader for creation while leading this sort of, because okay, so yes, there's we're paying for we're getting taxed on things just in general. We're getting taxed on super. I mean, we don't even know what most of these projects are. Most of these, and they're secret, but at the same time they're very found out, so that's good. Once again, I mean, I'm like talking about Solar Warden. I would say most of us don't know what Solar Warden is, So, and by us I mean, lots of, and I don't even bring up the vibration of the K word. I don't, or the M word. I literally don't do that in my broadcast. Is it important to know those things? Yes. It's important to have the wisdom of that. That's what I'm saying. So. And the underground things that are going on. Not just metaphorically or figuratively, but literally. It's a very, very, very interesting way to live when you find a new avenue to express your way of being, your way of life, to go your own route and to focus on what you want and sort of nothing else, but still be interacting, politely, consciously, and being dedicated in every move, but at the same time, being aware that there are lives that want to move and progress in a certain way that does sort of coherently match where we want to go. Meaning, I find out what I want to do, and I convince myself I'm capable of doing it, and then I just get into grind mode, where just constantly grinding, where my level of thinking, my level of consciousness, and my very mind changes, and therefore my DNA changes, because my body changes. It doesn't function like it used to function, and it's functioning on the grinding factor. It's functioning on that. I have a new way of thinking. I need to think in my new way of thinking, meaning I need to figure out how I'm going to get there somehow, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I have the capability of doing whatever it takes, and I have the will power to do so. It's amazing to want to do that in the mind state of an Olympic athlete, which, well, I did kind of spoil the surprise right there. But it's exciting, because I do plan ahead very, very far. So hold that thought, because it does have to do with flying. Hold that thought. And I really mean wings, not just flying, but wings. That's what I mean by flying, okay? Real wings. Seriously. That's why I train in the weird ways that I do. Anyway. I train so weirdly. Anyway. It's because when you're facing... It's not just, to have that goal towards being... Which is, I'm not downgrading at all, but... In the correct opposite, this is why I'm mentioning it, but to be... Which I actually don't normally mention, but to be a very good, for example, athlete at a certain sport, which is, a very spectacular thing. But now to face something that is the opposite, well, I say opposite, but that is just literal. It's not even a black hole. It's a force, a feeling, an understanding of what? Of I guess, actually, wow, that's actually very true. It's actually a little understanding of the self. Like, what's that word? Like how much, not necessarily just potential, but how much love or how much integrity, even better, no, how much perseverance, dedication, devotion, how much love is within to really have to, or to just have the will to face this force. And an even better explanation, to have the ability to keep moving forward. What I mean by that is, how do you, and this is exactly what it's like, and this is what you feel, because you can't necessarily, it's all feel, it's all faith, which is, it's all faith, because how do you get at something that you can't see? That is, it's completely invisible. And it can't be achieved, as in it can't be sought after. I mean, it can be sought after, because, there's, well, let's put it this way, our investigative skills go way up. And I say our, but my within investigative skills go way up. The potential to, well, I say potential, but that love feeling, that electromagnetic energy that's coming from, for example, the heart, which is a real energy source, a real energy thing. That kind of, that huge, oh, well, wow, we already know this analogy, but that huge donut shape, or, Gaia-shaped, for example, Gaia-shaped field, that huge Gaia-shaped field that's just powerful electromagnetic energy. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that huge plasma field that comes from my heart, but that tries to, which is so effective, actually. But anyway, I'm kind of digressing, but I'm not really digressing. Is how do you, and here's the thing that is what made it so, which is why I am the only one who's able to do this, which is why it's so cool, which is why I'm so good at it. And of course, I can go on and on, but and here's the thing. Comes love, nothing can be done. Here's why. And I'm going to get into my my storytelling voice now. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. My storytelling voice. Gosh. Anyway. Do you know what it's like to be molded by the dark? Okay, I just had to say that. Okay, anyway, what I mean to say is the following, and I truly do mean that previous phrase, but do you know what it's like to feel that which is invisible? Do you know what it's like to feel and transform and forgive the Cabal? I'm the only one who can do that. I'm the only one. I can be just my presence, and I can go so far as to already forgive them in just that amount of time, just like that. That is so, okay, so now here we go. If I'm able to forgive the Cabal, what else am I capable of doing? That is my will. So it's not easy to, or it's not that hard to say, of course, I am your host. This is your host, Christopher Curtis Bowen, on the TV edition of Fight for Liberty. I do many spectacular broadcasts, and I literally have done one every single day, probably. Well, just about every single day. Sometimes, some days my voice has been a little bit hoarser than others. Anyway, digressing. But just about every single day since, I think I might have started in December, but I'm pretty certain I did start this year. I wanted to, and I started this broadcast for many reasons. The point is, go do your plans, whatever, Cabal. You've already been forgiven. So, once again, before it's begun, we've already won. So, that's what it means to be this mighty. Oh, and here's the thing, then, the train doesn't stop, because we still have a long way to go. Yeah, of course, I conquered, well, there's still more to go, of course, but I could say, and this is what is the important part of what we do, I can say that I conquered this, one of the most, and here's once again the only sentences that I can say, because it's really a dangerous sentence. I supported the most effective, the most conniving, the most cunning, the most difficult, and one of the most dark and yet long-lasting Cabal forces in the universe, and some of the most violent Cabal forces in the universe. I am able to heal and transform and forgive them, and that's what's so spectacular about being a part of that. So, yeah, I kind of wanted to keep this. I can't really keep it because it's kind of obvious, especially with the way my my physical body looks, but and actually I did mention this before, so there's no hiding it. Developing wings. So there's going to be a lot of training that involves wings, so that we are able to maneuver ourselves in the air while flying. So that's going on. Is I do know how to deal with it in many subtle ways. It's of course, a lot of it does have to, per se, of course, overcome some fears. We're gonna have to go through clouds and through different temperature changes. Of course, we're gonna have to deal with different altitudes, different periods. It's similar to hiking per se, so keep that in mind. Of course, there may be times where we'll have to linger or, for example, tread air. So we'll need to know how to do that and basically be able to breathe properly. We're gonna have to be able to, just be conscious of how we hear, what we see, how we breathe, and what we smell, and it's incredibly important that we feel air vibrations. It's incredibly important, and it's incredibly important that we're extra sensitive because once again we're traveling at high speeds. I mean, this is really, really intense training because, I mean, I'm telling you, this is intense training. We're training to be, to have wings. So, a lot more training to go. And this is your host, Christian Walker, this Balansiúsacâlen edition of Five Liberty. I am your host. Excuse me. I'm your host, your ambassador for planet Earth. Creator being of light, light being of love, light warrior, light holder, love light, incarnate, light love, majestic and majesty, as in just majesticness, not like, oh, your highness and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, light being ambassador for the solar system, ambassador for the universe, sun being, and being of light, being of love, being of radiance, and ultra willpower human being. I love you all.